Sometimes you might just have enough of shoplifters if you work in retail, considering the climate that we're in these days where it's pretty much legal to shoplift and no one's going to go after you, or it will take quite a bit to have anything happen to you. This story comes from Kansas City, where prosecutors are now charging a store employee of O'Reilly Auto Parts. I never knew what the hell the thing at the end was. Is it like,
right.
Yeah? Or is it like somebody being stabbed and the audio cuts out? I don't know. It was always weird. The employee, I'm kind of surprised it isn't the owner. I'm surprised an employee took this level of control over a shoplifter. The employee fatally strangled the customer after he caught them allegedly shoplifting. The altercation at O'Reilly Auto Parts in Kansas City turned deadly when a 23-year-old man, Diamond Steen, allegedly was attempting to shoplift, and then he was strangled by a store employee. The incident has led to a significant criminal charge, highlighting the potentially dire consequences of taking the law into one's hand. Well, here's a thought, though. How about the law does their job and starts arresting these fuckers?
Well, I don't even think the police had a chance to get there before this guy took matters into his own hands.
Well, probably not. I'm speaking more on a whole, where we see these sort of shoplifting actions taking place all the time, documented, and it's like, okay, well, I won't take the law into my own hand, but where's the law? Oh, the law's not coming? The law's not doing? The law's just letting this happen? I can kind of understand.
Did you see what happened in Philadelphia this week?
Which one?
Yeah, well, another, what do they call it? Where a bunch of gangs come in and basically just ransack the place and take what they want?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it happens all the time. Philadelphia is an extremely corrupt city. So I'm not surprised that they don't have the organization to get this done, considering they think that when you get stabbed in the back of the head 20 times, it's suicide, that they may be incapable of, cracking down on shoplifters. Just might be a difficulty for them.
No, good point. But hey, one more thing. Target is closing 9 stores across 4 states, claiming that theft and organized retail crime have made the environment unsafe for staff and customers and unsustainable for business.
And you know what?
This is a huge
It is.
deal.
And Target's going to get all this back. And good for Target. I 100% support Target doing that, because you can't sustain a business when everyone in your neighborhood is stealing from the business. Because the arguments will be, well, they're abandoning these neighborhoods and these communities that need them. Yeah, because those communities have destroyed the store. That's why it's happening. So, yeah, any business owner with any common sense, you're not just going to stay open for the sake of the community when you're putting your staff and customers and everybody at risk every day with the insanity that's going on in some of these areas. How about we get our communities under fucking control, and then, good things won't leave your area. That's a
good point.
I'm always shocked by the arguments that come in like, well, they're abandoning. Like, they're not. They were there. They were trying to make it there. They didn't want to have to close their store. But since the community decided that it was a great target, and literally a target, Target said, fuck you, and we're leaving. Kansas City police on the evening of September 19th is when the call came in regarding the disturbance at O'Reilly Auto Parts located on the Parallel Parkway. The caller informed the police dispatch that 2 men were allegedly shoplifting from the store. This led to a confrontation outside the store premises between the alleged shoplifters and the store employees. By the time the police arrived at the scene, they found one man unresponsive, necessitating immediate CPR. Unfortunately, efforts to revive him failed, and he was declared dead on the spot. Deceased individual was later identified as Diamond Steen. Another individual involved in the incident and bearing minor injuries was promptly transported to a local hospital. He's now in stable condition. The Wyandotte County District Attorney Mark Dupree, in a public announcement on September 21st, confirmed the arrest of Carl Kempian, a 39-year-old employee of the store. Kempian has been formally charged with second-degree murder. Elaborating on the seriousness of the charge, Dupree stated that Kempian is accused of unlawfully and intentionally using or causing Sheen's death. He further specified that the act was committed recklessly, showcasing extreme indifference towards Steen's life. The autopsy report solidified the narrative of the fatal confrontation. The findings determined that the cause of Diamond Steen's death was strangulation, categorizing the manner of death as a homicide. The gravity of the situation was captured in Dupree's words. The deceased's airway was completely stopped, and that ultimately caused his death. The incident now has opened a legal can of worms. Dupree mentioned the possibility of additional charges, not only against Kemperman, but also another O'Reilly employee involved in the altercation. The ramifications from this event have the potential to extend far beyond just one individual. The severity of the charges are looking like this. If he's found guilty, he could face a prison term ranging from 109 months to 493 months. In simpler terms, Kempman could be incarcerated for 9 to 41 years. His bond is set at $125,000.
I know where you're headed, Tony.
I don't have anything good to say. I don't have anything good to say because this shit's out of control. This person obviously went too far, but I don't know. At the same point, you're fucking shoplifting. And, you know, if you don't want to be attacked by someone or be arrested or some sort of shit happening to you that's negative, that could potentially, I would assume if you're committing a crime like that, I don't know. I think committing almost any crime, if you end up having the authorities involved or some very angry person involved, could result in death, especially if you run and they have a weapon. I know I always assumed, probably wrongly, but I mean, I always assumed, you know, if you stole stuff, this is my thought when I was younger, and, you know, you fled from police or something of that nature, they have every right to shoot you. Obviously, that's probably not the case because we don't see that. But in some cases, we do when people are caught shoplifting and stealing things and causing havoc to other people and endangering lives. This clearly was not necessarily someone endangering others' lives, but still, one wrong does not make another wrong right. But I think there's... you're going to see more of this. You're going to see more of smaller stores and people fucking losing it on these shoplifters. And I think you'll see more shoplifters dying because society is done with it. They're fed up. They're not going to have it anymore. And the authorities and the people that we look to make this shit stop, not really working out very well in most places. Some places it does, some places it does not. Specifically those areas where the police have their hands tied literally and can't do anything. I think you're going to see a lot more of this. But
don't you think, aren't we running into a problem where the general public becomes the judge and the jury and the executioner? I mean, we have a legal system intact.
Yes, they are, because our system's not working.
I get that. And believe me, I worked in retail when I was a teen. My God, it was horrible. Which is why I don't do it now. But I get it. Somebody's shoplifting and you're just pissed. You've had enough of this shit, you know? I get it. But also, you're not in a place where you can give them the punishment that they deserve.
No, you can't. And you have to have the common sense to know that this is not going to work out well for you if you try and do this sort of thing. I just think you're going to see far more people that are unhinged, that are just having enough of this. And in no way am I saying go fucking kill shoplifters. Right. But I am saying there needs to be consequences. And if that means someone at the store knocks them to the ground and keeps them detained until police can come, which, again, probably not a good idea, but nothing seems to be working here. You're going to see some very vicious attacks, I think, from store owners and business owners that are trying to survive, and then this sort of shit is going on and destroying their lives and destroying their businesses, and there's nothing going on in terms of law enforcement in some of these communities to stop or help any of it. Portland, Oregon being one of those places, which is why 3 targets are leaving Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a friend that lives there. It's a cesspool. And it's so sad because it used to be a kind of a cool, city to visit and had really kind of a neat art scene and all that. Now it's like The Walking Dead. Quite literally, I have no other way to describe it. It is The Walking Dead. And it's just scary to see what is going on. And I'm surprised more businesses have not left that area yet.
Wow. And it's sad. It shouldn't be going this way. You know, people are talking about, and I'm not going to get political, but they're talking about the price of inflation and things like that. And things are expensive. Well, here's a good reason why. Because these stores have to make up for the loss. And there is a tremendous amount of product loss because of shit like this.
Well, it's a problem that creates more problems. And I don't know why it's so difficult to enforce laws. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, we didn't used to have these sort of issues because they weren't allowed to happen. There was policing that went on. I mean, in the same cities that want to get rid of police forces as well are like the ones that have the biggest problems. It's like, okay, right. Idiots, good luck, everybody, with this idea, because that will work out fabulously for you because you're already running such a lovely community that everyone wants to go and live in. Oh, wait, no, everybody's fleeing. So, no, obviously, this man should not have been strangled, but I do understand the anger that probably a lot of these employees and owners have of this sort of shit going down because it's unchecked, and it's the Wild West, it feels like, where we're living now.
Absolutely, it is, and something's got to change.
Well, without a doubt.
You're locked into the Hidden Killers podcast.
Want more? Start binging on all of our true crime podcasts right now through Apple Podcasts and get an ad-free experience when you sign up to be a True Crime Today Premium Plus member exclusively on Apple Podcasts.
More of the Hidden Killers podcast dropping soon.
Press subscribe now.